We are CEOs, executives, educators, and professionals from all sectors of society who support the global expansion of betterment in the world through joy and joyely. I'm your host, Cheryl Lynn, founder of the Chair of Joy Experience. Together, we have developed the World Council of Joy, and our council invites CEOs and innovators from impactful organizations to the JOYELY podcast. We showcase how generous, bold, and fully engaged they are in their work and what a culture of joy is to them. Good day, good day, good day. Cheryl Lynn here with JOYELY Studios, and I have Burcu Onaranel on with us today. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Yes, good. Please say your name for me again.
Burcu.
And your last name?
Onaranel.
You are coming to us from Turkey today.
Yes, yes.
And an adventure to the United States soon.
Yes, yes.
That's very exciting. So today's conversation, I really am excited to speak with you. I've been up all night dreaming about what we were going to talk about this morning, but you and I have connected. I believe that the Chair of Joy practice and the opportunity to understand what stillness and focus and manifesting is really creates opportunities for people. And I know you live that lifestyle as well. So on the JOYELY podcast, we've been talking to mostly CEOs, to executives, middle management, people who are in the corporate world who sometimes get too busy to focus, right? And to put this idea and the concept of joy on the front burner. So you and I connected through a mutual friend, Dr. Teresa Ashby. You and her had an interview on a podcast. And since summer, I haven't told you this yet, Burcu, but since summer, I have been putting out the concept of who is going to be on my team, who's 30 years old, who thinks that joy is more important and more focused on it than I am, which has to be a lot because I'm really focused on it and super excited about the changes and shifts. Someone who's vivacious, full of energy, has a commitment to people and to service, and really understands what it takes to bring a global concept or summit together of peace and joy, of people who are living this so that we can act and take and make decisions from a place of joy. So, and I said this person, I don't know if I said this already, would be really cool if she was 30 years old. So female 30. So here you are, a female. And how old are you, if I might ask, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
30.
Right. And didn't we just met a week ago? And I've just been going so excited about even knowing that your company now is called Joy, LLC, JOYY. And so this is my first question to you. So I started JOYELY about really 2 years ago. I started working on the name and just incorporated about 5 months ago. And it is just flying. We're having so much fun. And I am curious. So I started JOYELY because joy is kind of a word that's sort of overused. Like, be joyful, go get joy, give attention to being, finding out what your joy is, find joy, spread joy, right? And then joy is in birthday parties and Christmas parties. So JOYELY to me it has an ELY at the end, an extension of joy. It's more about a lifestyle. How do you activate joy in every single moment possible during the day? And that's what we talk about. So why joy, JOYY for you?
It's in the question, actually. It's joy, and the next Y is your why. That's why I added on the end. I believe everything has a reason, and everybody in the world has a reason why they came to life. So I want to remind people who work with me, my company, you have a reason, you have a why. What's your why? Always remember why you start what you do, either your personal life or professional life. So that's the second why there.
I love it. So you are an inspirational life coach. You have a business admin degree. You're an international speaker, an NLP master practitioner. You're the host of the Coffee O'Clock podcast, by the way. I love that name. And you worked in corporate America. You've taken a lot of HR sort of a line through the HR department to do recruitment and focus on psychology and those kinds of things. So why is it, and who are you, that you decided to be on this entrepreneurial career path?
Thank you for that question. I always believed, since I was a little girl, I was always the person who were screaming and smiling, and when somebody was crying, I was there like, okay, just smile, just forget about it. I was always trying to spread this, but I didn't know that was my life purpose until I got that NLP, neuro-linguistic programming training one day and did all those deep exercises, meditations, and hypnosis. That's how I found my uniqueness, my biggest value in life, and that was joy. And I was stuck in corporate life in Turkey, so I quit. I left everything and I went after my dreams in 2016 without knowing English, without knowing anyone. I moved to the United States and I was hungry to find out what was missing in my life, like what was happening, why I was not happy. I was that person who were, spreading that joy, but I reached everything that I wanted in my life. I learned everything and worked in HR, had a car, all those things people dream of. But I learned that it's not it. We have to find what is inside of us already. And joy, peace, happiness we seek is already in us. And in my journey in the United States, and when I was going through all those self-development training, I found I cannot fit in. Like I tried American, like I tried corporate America too. I tried doing other stuff, and I was like always hitting the walls of corporate rules or society rules. You have to do that. What other people tell about you. And I was like, no, this isn't. Like I have to be me, however that needs to be. So I was like, okay, I need to have my own space. I don't like to call it company or thing, because that again creates the walls, like, oh, I have to have rules and stuff. I have this space where I help people to find their joy and create the life they dream of in their personal and professional life. So I don't like to call it company, but it is a company. But that's my kind of joy space, a space where I can be me and help people to be who they are, who they truly are.
So it feels like you're describing a lot of people, not just entrepreneurs necessarily, but people in general feel like they have to peg themselves into something, right? To fit in, to belong, to feel recognized, to accomplish. And I think it's pretty cool that corporation CEOs are really allowing people, individuals to shine within the corporation these days. And I'm super excited that you are stepping out, though, to continue to create that space and to continue creating it together in a collaboration with JOYELY. So thank you for being forthright at such a young age, right? And really stepping into your own. Burcu, say your name again for me one more time.
Burcu, you said it right.
Burcu. So stepping into your own and for really taking a chance, because it's risky. Would you say? Yes. Tell me about that a little bit.
Oh, it is very risky. And probably I did the hardest path. I left my own culture, my own language, my own people, and went to somewhere that I don't know anything. But I think that's a great start to really uncover who you really are, what you really want in your life. And we have to take risks in life. In any ways, in your career, in your relationship, it's a risk. You meet someone and you love that person, that's a risk. Like, you don't know what that person is gonna turn in or what life will bring into your life. And it's same for career. I had this, to me, it's a little bit silly question when I was interviewed by an HR professional a couple of years ago, and she asked me, "So, are you seeing yourself in this country?" And I was like, 6 years ago, when I first interviewed by a person in Turkey, I didn't know that I was going to move to Los Angeles. So I think this question is great, but the answer is not going to be the right answer, never, because we never know what's going to happen. So I think we are in this society where everybody wants to know everything and don't want to take any risks. But that's not the life. When you look at nature, you said it's raining there. It's raining here too, but it was beautiful in the morning. It was sunny. It was amazing. But all of a sudden, it started pouring like incredibly. So it's always like in a constant change. So we are. So we can't know what's going to happen, but we have to take risks to be able to find that joy and live the fullest life. That's my opinion.
So what does the fullest life look like to you? I know that you've been working with clients. You have a passion for speaking and getting people out of their comfort zones and on stages. So if you are living your fullest life, what is it that you're doing? Do you have a vision for yourself?
Yes, I am speaking in front of thousands of people, or people are hearing my voice and feeling the vibration that I feel, which is joy and excitement and enjoying life. And people are changing. I see the light in their eyes. I see the change that they're making, the happiness, the health they bring into their life. That's my vision. I want everyone to be woke and really enjoy even just having a cup of coffee, but enjoying it, really feeling that taste of coffee beans and that warmth and the life, everything, taking one step at a time and feeling it in their heart. That's my vision. I want everybody to really stop a couple times in their day and really be aware of how lucky we are that we have this precious life, and everything is possible. Everything we can have.
So what you're describing and why JOYELY, I think, is resonating so well with so many people is a lifestyle. You're describing a kind of a break the funk or get out of the routine. You know, maybe there's even a level of mediocrity or settling, right? For people to jump out of. So yes, maybe it's chaotic and maybe it's stressful and there's anxiety and the world is upside down, but even still, there's possibility in every single moment to activate joy. And so that's what I think you and I have in common. And I look so forward to expanding on both of our dreams and what we could do across the world. You're such a beautiful human, and your all your social media is just really, really fun to look at. You can tell that you wake up every day and you have your experience where you focus and you are alive and living and doing what you can every single day to be the best human that you are. And it's just natural for you. It feels so easy. Is it?
I don't know. I think it is. Yeah, it is. Not all the time, I have to be honest, but it is. When I feel challenges or anxious, the first thing I do, I smile. I try to add joy in everything.
Well, if you had no obstacles whatsoever in your way and all the resources, and you had a magic wand in your hand, is there one specific social issue in the world that you would address?
It's probably heart surgery. It's going to be a heart surgery that I want to take all the negative thoughts and beliefs and stress that people hold in their heart. So I want to take all those and put joy instead and in peace. That will be a heart surgery for people who need.
I'm pretty sure that has to be developed, but I think at a cellular level, there's a tonic that we could create between us called, the JOYELY tonic or something to that effect, so that
Yeah.
Really putting the good stuff in. And I know we all work at it and we're all doing our best, but I do think that there is a level of isolation and a sense of, maybe it's just too hard. Maybe it's just too difficult. Maybe I'm just, no one thinks like I do, and I can't find the like-minded groups that I would like to. So I do think that there's a lot of that, and there's probably less of the leadership that wants to really, really serve. So I'm excited that you and I are going to start bringing all these people together. And I'd love to talk about some of those ways with our audience right now, if that's okay with you.
Yes, please.
So I mentioned to you that I do a lot of meditation and a lot of motivational YouTube videos. And I'm just always, anytime there's any dip in my energy, I immediately stop and tap into my chair of joy or something that gives me inspiration. And one of the things that I've heard over the last 30 years is to not allow yourself to be limited. And so the JOYELY model, if you will, is juggling 10 balls, literally 10 balls in the air, and all of them are intentional and moving forward. And so can we just talk about those real quick? I just want to see if you have any questions for me in my explanation for them. So the first one is kids. I think that the chair of joy could replace timeout chairs across the world and replace them with a new language of joy and create an opportunity for kids to learn differently, instead of focusing on what's broken or what isn't working or bad behavior, but to consciously be aware of what's working and what they're good at and what laughter they did have that morning. So that's ball number one. What do you think about ball number one?
Love it.
Do you have a passion for children?
Yes, I love kids, and for some reason they have that vibration to me too. They want to come to me.
It is true. I can believe you on that at all fronts. We also have the World Council of Joy. So we have people like Pat Armstrong and Dr. Paul McGee and Dr. Jeff McGee and Sharon McClaney and Dr. Elise Cortez. You can check them all on our website, but they are people that are living joyily, the JOYELY lifestyle. They've all sat in the chair of joy at some point along the way. They're super excited about helping create a lifestyle. And so Pat is I call her the chairperson of the World Council of Joy. She's in Australia, and we are working on the Global Peace and Joy Summit. So super excited to have that as an opportunity for people to get involved as well. So what do you think about the World Council of Joy?
It's amazing. It's an expansion, and I'm listening with all my ears and heart with you. Please continue sharing all that uniqueness you are bringing to this world. And I'm so excited to be a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, joy has been a conversation that I've always had. I owned a bar and grill once upon a time, and I had people come from hundreds and, even across country. They heard about us to come hang out at our little bar in Wisconsin. And it was because that there was just so much energy in that building. It literally raised the roof. Sometimes the motorcycles that came through, put a dent in the floor, but that happens. It's okay. It was a fun time. All right, next, memberships. So we want everyone to enroll. So there are two ways that you can enroll. One is just a complimentary standard membership, and there are 6 or 7 really cool things that we've prepared for our standard members, and they include things like the Chair of Joy session, so people can understand what a Chair of Joy is, how to start creating a habit, the guide to the JOYELY lifestyle, a PDF for sort of like getting started workbook style. So that's pretty cool. So, and then there's a $49 membership. I have something called JOYELY Ever After. So happily ever after. And we're all starting to understand the difference between happy and joy, right? Real quick, what's the difference between happy and joy? Tell us. I know you know very well.
Joy is what everybody seek in their life. Joy is the highest happiness. I think it's 10 times of happiness. That's what I can call. And it's different because you can be happy with, you know, simple things or anything, but joy is more deeper than that. It's hard to explain, but joy is different. Even when you say it, it's like, it's joy. Yeah. It's not happiness. It's more vibrate energy.
Yeah. Joy almost seems inaccessible to most people, let alone sustainable, let alone activating it. And that's part of the formula that we teach as well. But the happiness, I like to refer to it as an ice cream cone. You're happy when you eat your ice cream cone, and then the ice cream cone is gone, and then the happiness kind of dissipates. Same as if you're driving your Mercedes, the Mercedes breaks, and then, oh man, I got to pay for this thing, right? So yeah. How do you access the joy without spending money, without eating something or overeating something, right? So there's different ways to tap into our internal joy versus our external happiness. So thank you for that very much. So memberships, so one of the paid membership pieces is we're having the Joyely Ever After happy hour. So instead of a happily ever after, we're going to be Joyely Ever After. So it's the Joyely Ever After hour, which is JEAH, which the letter is just J. So it's going to be called the J hour. I don't know how many times I have to explain that. It's kind of like the Nike swish, like when you can just say J, but we're having the J hour once a month. That's just celebratory, and we're talking about what people's experiences are so far in the Chair of Joy, and just kind of building the momentum within our paid members. And they get a lot of access, a lot of VIP stuff. They get to be on our podcast, and so next then is, of course, the podcast. And that's a big part, I think, of your expertise, is really paying attention to the details of what it takes to make a successful podcast. And so, and also speaking, Burcu, I know that you're super excited about being on stages, and I love that about you. You have a beautiful essence and presence on stage. So I think the Joyely members, yourself included, being on podcasts and speaking at summits and stages and events across the country are definitely something to look out for in the future. Anything you'd like to add to that?
No, you said it well. I'm excited to speak and spread this joyily to the world.
Thank you. We're already doing it. We're doing it right now.
Yes, right now it is happening.
The next thing that I've been thinking about for years, and I just want to tap on this really quickly, but I used to own, we used to live in South Lake Tahoe. I was a ski instructor there, and I loved every single moment of South Lake Tahoe. And one of the things I did there was develop the Green Apron Club. So you know the Masters golf tournament, they wear the green jacket when they win. So what we did was the Green Apron. So when people brought a recipe over and they presented it to everyone in the room, we'd all give them a round of applause, we'd give them feedback, and then we'd give them the Green Apron. So I'm doing something, we're doing something similar with Joyely, which is letting all the hosts in their homes or in their virtual environments create a experience for their friends and family or coworkers. So the Joyely experience direct, in homes is something that I'm super excited for because you and I, we could talk about joy all day long, but until people actually implement it and experience it for themselves, there really is no shift in consciousness or transformation. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
So I think that's going to be really, really fun. In fact, I've already done a few of them. I've had 12 to 15 people on a podcast with me, and the host gets a special party gift. They get a special yellow and white scarf that they can display over a pretty chair, because it's any chair, anywhere, anytime, in their space, whether it's virtual or in person. But they can actually present a really awesome experience for everyone that attends. So that's a lot of fun. And then the next part is travel. Like, I know you and I are traveling the world with the Chair of Joy. One of our first places we talked about was Norway. I don't know if that's true, but definitely visit. And we want to create sort of a mini travel experience, if you will, so that people can experience the Chair of Joy while we're out at events and at colleges and senior centers and veterans homes. And, I think there is no we can't miss anyone. We really, really have to get everyone to sit in the chair of joy and have the experience with us and our teammates, because it is so much fun and it's so powerful and moving for the people that are listening. Like, I think one of the coolest things about it is it sets everyone up sort of in a space of neutrality, right? Where, it's a little scary to sit in the chair of joy, especially the real one, the big white leather broke one with the diamonds. It's like, well, do what now? And so when they sit in it, I think that there's really this, like, I don't know if I'm going to get it right? Or I don't know if what I say is going to make any sense, or if the memory that I shared, she's going to like that kind of thing. So it puts everyone in a movement towards courage, which really is a level playing field for all of us. So I really, really love that about the Chair of Joy, and it being in person and on the road with the travel piece is going to be fun. The next part real quick is books. We have about 6 books, including 2 for children that are in the works. Merchandise. We have a beautiful, beautiful female designer that we're talking to that's really excited about creating something unique and special around the concept of yellow and white. So it's not a don't worry, be happy sort of mentality, but more how can we subtly splash a little more yellow and white in the world and create sort of an increased ambiance around people's feelings towards joy. Anything you want to add?
That's very exciting, especially the traveling part with the chair and having everyone experience that. I mean, I experienced the virtual part of it, and that's still already amazing experience. So I can't wait to take the chair and travel the world with you and have everybody add more joy in their life and keep it.
One of the visions that I had, I was co-creating with a friend, but put the Chair of Joy in the back of like a U-Haul type trailer, but more of a plexiglass so you can see through it, and people can walk in and they can pick their smell. Like, do they want to experience, a smell of a beach or an ocean or the woods or a campfire, or maybe they push the button that they're, having ocean waves and sounds. And so the Chair of Joy experience will be unique to everyone, and they get to kind of create it and manipulate it as they go. All right, next one, coaches. We have an amazing coaching plan from the beginning level to the master program, and there's a lot more coming for that. So I'll just leave that at that. I'm working with 2 amazing gentlemen who have master's degree in entrepreneurship and know how to put together programs that are extremely beneficial for coaches. And then last, magazine. I've had a magazine once, and I really think that we can and will let people's dreams and visions come out in the magazine. So who are they in the world? How are they showing up as an author or a coach or a business executive or a mom? And how do they choose joy? How do they fixate themselves around a conversation of joy on a daily basis? How do they teach their children? How do they dress? How do they meditate, right? Those kinds of things. And so I'm super excited to have our digital crew of Rich, Arlene, and Mandeep and John work on that process as well. So, and Michael Bias is a significant leader in our world as well that is working with us on that, who has magazine already and many, many thousands of followers. So anyway, enough. That's the most I've ever talked on a podcast, but I wanted to really work out all the ideas and creatives with you, because I think you get it. Like, I think you really get it. Am I right?
I get it. I love it.
I feel like you're such a talker, and I have a loss for words with you this morning. I think that's the cool part about our synchronicity and coming together, is there's no necessarily a level of, don't you think it's cool, or a validation or any of that. It's just natural to us. And together our energy is going to expand this world of joy for everyone that we meet.
That's the goal.
That is the goal. That is happening. It's already happening. It's happening today. And so when is it that you turn to the next phase of your life? Like, I'm curious if there's another level of education that you're working toward, or is it just the stage that you want to create for yourself? What's the next big plateau for you, or big plateau you want to overcome?
I would like to study human psychology in the near future. I like to dive more. And I'm going to get actually Reiki master training when I will be in California. I just decided to that. And I just want to learn more of the energy, people, how we do what we do, why we do what we do, all those things. I am so into that. Like you said, I can talk about this all day long. I can learn about this. I don't need anything else. Just feed me. I love learning this stuff. Just feed my brain.
I really am in awe, actually, of you, that you can be so aware of this for yourself, right? That this is your path, that you're clear about what's next, that you're that your ability and talent is beneficial for the people that come in your circle. It's really, truly amazing at such a young age.
Thank you. Thank you. I work so hard. If I can be seen that way, that's my honor to receive that from you.
When you say you work so hard, tell me a little bit more about that. What does that mean specifically?
Well, probably 7-8 years ago, I was truly lost in my life. I kind of mentioned a little bit. I thought I had everything that I dreamt of based on society. I had all those things that people need, right? But I wasn't happy. And I had to pay it to move to another country without having anyone with me. I am an only child and never left home before that. So I was always with my family, even the university. I studied in the same city and lived with my parents. So that was a huge move for me to go somewhere without knowing the language, without knowing anyone, without knowing what's going to happen. I only took my 3-year corporate job savings, turned them into US dollars, and paid my language school, paid my rent, and shared a home with 6 different girls from different countries, and lived in Los Angeles and moved 8 times in 4 years, and was broke and miserable, lost couple many times, and did a lot of worked in many places. I did what it takes to really find what I want and what is meant for me to do in this life. And I believe every person we meet has a reason and purpose in our lives. So that's why along my journey, they helped me, they showed me who I was, who I need to be. That's how I found the joy inside of me. And that's what I needed to do. That's why since I was born, I was trying to do that in my young little girl times, or whenever I felt down, I was still trying to make it work and make other people happy. And I learned that there is a reason for this. And I'm glad I took that risky and hard journey in the United States and created that bridge now. Now I'm in Turkey, in the US, and soon will be in Europe, traveling, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to spread this to the world. And now I met you. So it's now even more easier and more impactful, because we are coming together to big joy vibration. I hope that answered your question.
It really did. And I feel like I was with you the moment you stepped off that plane in Los Angeles going, what in the world am I doing? Right. And I can only imagine what it took for your family to let you go, even to create something new and different for yourself, and to Los Angeles of all places. And,
Yes.
and you did it. You did it. That's just incredible. And I think what I'm hearing you say is that you would love to shorten that learning curve for others.
Yes, they don't need to, they don't need to spend all those years, or they don't need to move to another country like I did. They don't need to do all those kind of crazy, risky things, but they have to do some kind of risk. They have to take some kind of risk to really find what it is for them.
Yes. Yes, everybody does have to have their own path and journey. And that's why the discovery of the chair of joy, I think, is so powerful. And yes, people don't have to leave their countries. They can point to the chair on their deck or the porch on the front stoop or the bench at the park and take a few minutes to discover joy instantly. And that's the most fun thing that we are going to do together, is to bring the concept, or the words, even just the words, chair of joy, to every human on the planet. So on that note, I think I will let you begin or end your day. You're ending your day. I'm beginning my day. And it's been such a joy speaking to you today and learning more about you and what makes you tick. So any final words you'd like to leave with our listening audience today about our relationship, or just in general?
In general, I want to say, leave your comfort zone. That's the way you can find your joy. That's the thing. And for our collaboration, friendship, whatever this is, this vibration is going to be, it is already huge. Please continue watching. Thank you so much for having me.
It's been pure joy. And I'm excited to have everyone follow along and continue our journey. We're interviewing a bunch of authors coming up here on the JOYELY podcast, and we look forward to sharing more conversations of joy with you as we continue on through the years. All right, everyone, have a good day, and it was nice to talk with you again today.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.